hands. Not just in New York, but throughout the country and the rest of the world. There are many more healthcare whistleblowers. We urge you to find them on the internet, for instance via the highly recommended Stu Peters Show. Many whistleblowers are now under federal whistleblower protection. COVID patients in America's hospitals today are actually being treated worse than prisoners in American jails. They are being held hostage and segregated from loved ones. They have no visitation rights, no right to decide their treatment. They are refused basic fluids, nutraceuticals, and nutrients. And the reason is money. Is it a new phenomenon that doctors choose money over saving their patients? No, it is not. We found an eerily similar account in this French book, Chroniques de Genève, The Chronicles of Geneva, written by François Bonivard in 1867, about the plague hitting Geneva in 1530. An entire hospital was set up for plague victims alone. It received money from patients, merchants, and the magistrate gave incentives on a monthly basis. If a patient died without a family, all the property went to the hospital. But then the plague subsided. The hospital started losing money as subsidies depended on the number of patients, and so the doctors got organized. They began to cut the plague ulcers from the bodies of the dead. They dried them and ground them into powder, which they spread on door handles in the dead of night. That's right. They went from house to house downtown Geneva and secretly and intentionally spread the plague among healthy citizens in order to raise the numbers of patients and thus the number of financial incentives. But one of the doctors got tired of these nightly adventures. After all, he had to care for his patients during the day as well. Double shift, so to speak. He became careless and threw a bundle of dust into the crowd during the day. But the dust smelled awful, and the people recognized it as the foul smell of the Black Death. The doctor was arrested and tortured until he named each and every doctor and nurse who was involved in this murderous scheme. They were all arrested and executed. 1530. Almost 5 centuries later, nothing much seems to have changed when money is offered in large quantities. Now, we're not saying that the doctors of today should be punished in a similar fashion, but we do ponder sometimes what will happen when people wake up and realize what really happened to their loved ones in the hands of the doctors and nurses they trusted. We wouldn't be surprised if they'd have to run for their lives. Let's hope they will get a fair trial. After all, these are not the 1500s anymore, right?